give us an opening statement, please, Coach.
Well, first of all, Tennessee State's, I think, a very good basketball team. I know it's a disappointing night for them. They came off the close a year ago, and they rightfully thought they had a good enough team to get out of this thing and go to the tournament. I mean, I did too. And I thought about it all day, as a matter of fact. I mean, they're talented and they play hard, and I like their team. And so it's a disappointment to end up losing a game that matters so much to so many kids. I thought the difference was our defensive activity toward the end of the first half. Thought that turned the momentum of the game around, got us the halftime lead. Even though we had not shot the ball well, hadn't shot free throws well, hadn't made a three. And in the second half, it turned into a little bit more than just an offensive show both ways. And our guys got on the roll, being obviously six threes in the second half. It was a huge plus for us. He shot a great about 90% of the year, but he's been in a mini slump that I'm going to declare officially ended. Karan kept us in it offensively in the first half. And he's just such a competitive guy, and never had a player, post player, any kind of player that draws so many fouls as Karan Johnson does. He just, when we weren't doing much of anything, he was getting them to foul him and going to the line and getting us some points. Not as many as he wanted, because he was 12 for 12 in his last game and missed a few tonight. But once he started feeling good about it, he was all right. But a very good quality win for us. I think that team with all their players is one of the better teams that we played against all year long. And so I think obviously it's an important win that we advance, but it's a win against a good team.
What's got you out of that slump?
Being confident. My teammates, the coaches still believe in me, and I got to keep my head and make sure that I go out there and try to make every shot. And tonight, came in the mindset of leaving all that on the floor, and that's what I did.
How many of those threes were NBA range?
I'm not sure. I really wasn't looking.
Rick, is there a sense that you sort of exhale a little bit after this, and now you feel like you can be freed up a little bit?
I exhale after every game. I'm glad they're over one way or the other. I'm glad that I've got to go through another day like today, where you're nervous and anxious, and it's an important game, and you know how important it is. But look, I felt like the game was close to a toss-up personally. I mean, I know that we won the league and all that. I just really felt like they've got so many good players, and you guys saw all of them playing. I mean, we beat a team when their three best players played pretty good. They all three played pretty good. And if Kellen Thornton's a second-team All-OVC player, then we ought to just take the first team to the NBA and win games. He's darn good. So we got more work to do. And fortunately, I've got a bunch of guys around me that have done that before, and they've won a semifinal game and had a day to get ready for a championship game, and they've got it done. And it's nice to have on your side.
Rick, you had 5 players play 30 or more minutes tonight. You're going to have another fist fight on your hands tomorrow night, no matter who wins. How's that play forward?
Well, I don't think we'll see anything different on the other side, except that maybe an Eastern Kentucky team will have 3 straight games if they happen to beat Murray State, or Murray State doesn't play a whole lot of guys either. And so, I won't know that until we see it tomorrow night, Joe. But I don't think these guys are going to ask out, and they'll want to play 40. When it comes to that, I think adrenaline and want to will take over, and hopefully we'll be okay. Blake played tonight he was sick all last night, and didn't eat anything until pregame this afternoon. awfully good job of playing through that. And, you know, nobody else really knew he struggled like that.
We had one of ours.
Yeah, apparently. Well, there's been a study going around Belmont a lot, and I know some of the women's team, several of them had it last week, and so I'm assuming it was just that same, because it seems to be really quick. I think he ate pregame the other day, and that's like, you don't feel like that. And so, but they told me late in the game, I was get break out on defense. He looked like he was just kind of giving it one of these. His eyes were rolling around his head. But I said, no, he's our best defender. I'm not taking him out. I don't care where his eyes are going.
Coach, when do your players, when does Clark always have the green light to fire the three?
Well, Ian's got it just past half court. You know, we've always shot a lot of threes and done a pretty nice job of making a high percentage, even though we do shoot a lot. And I don't think shooters can be effective unless they've got a comfortable green light. And they learn that from their coach through practice. They learn it. You know, we'll say that wasn't good enough. That was too quick, too deep, too contested. And that's what practices are for. And hopefully they get to games and they've got an understanding of what's a good shot and what isn't a good shot. And he'll tell you when you're not making them. And if you're confident, shooting's an important part of your game. Sometimes, and Ian's done it a few times in this little slump, where he wants it so bad he's taken one that he didn't let come to him, that he kind of forced, and you usually don't get your makes back when you start forcing things, hoping one of them will go in and you get going. So I just, you know, and you know what, we make more turnovers than some teams do, and that's another thing with me. It's just a freedom thing. If a guy's a great passer, you're going to jump all over him every time he throws one away. That might have led to a layup or a lob to a post player. We threw a lob tonight and got one. Every now and then he's not going to make a good pass right. He's going to throw it over him out of bounds or short and get it deflected. But he's got to feel like he can make that play because it's right when he made it.
Ron, talk about how physical it was when you tried to penetrate in there. It looked like they had 3 guys there.
Yeah, they're extremely physical and extremely athletic. They're one of the more harder teams to finish against. So when we get in there, we're really focusing on looking out for shooters. And, you know, the first half, they weren't really going, but, you know, these guys are great shooters, and they've proven themselves over the course of their career to be great shooters. So, yeah, of course, anytime you go into a lane, you're going to take a beating, especially with Thornton and Red and Covington down there. I mean, and even, you know, Miller to the point, they're just so physical, and that's part of their game, and that's how they play, and that's why they get wins. And so we just want to be, you know, stay in control, make the right play, even when we were under pressure.
Coach, you guys won the battle of the offensive boards. How important was that to get those extra possessions?
For us, it's always a huge plus because we're behind season long in that, and we're an undersized team. I think a lot of it tonight was longer rebounds, you know, sort of deflected rebounds that come down below your shoulders where our team actually has a chance to get them. I'd have to look at them all, but when I looked at halftime at the numbers, I was pleasantly surprised that we had about 9 and they had about 4 offensive rebounds, and we had a higher percentage of our misses than they did of theirs. Anytime we can get a higher percentage of our misses than the other team, and that's the way I don't look at numbers of rebounds, I look at the percentage, then it's a real plus for us because we're usually on the lower side of that.
Ricky missed 11 shots in a row, 0 for 2 in the first half, so there's an opportunity for more offensive rebounds. But
yeah.
Is the stretch that you went through in the first half reminiscent a little bit of what happened the last time you played this team?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. We were up 18-8 over there, and we had about 6 offensive possessions up 18-8, didn't score on any of them. And then they started chipping away and ended up pulling away and winning the game. And but you know that's you got to give them credit for some of that. They you know what they play with effort. They try to do what they're asked to do by their coach. They don't make shots. The shots don't come easy against them. So, you know, you're just going to have that against a team. I think they were maybe leading the OBC in 3-point percentage defense, and they're not going to get their credit.
Ian, when you sat down in the first half,
really focus on just being that teammate that encouraged my teammates that was out on the floor. You know, Reese and JJ, those guys stepped up. You know, I think Brandon Baker also had 2,000 early in the first half, and those guys that were on the floor stepped up and made plays defensively, and I think that's what kind of got us out of our little offensive slump. We got easy baskets, got us going, and it got us fired up, and I think they kept us, they kind of carried over to the second half.
Around when he gets on a roll like that in the second half, what's it like as a teammate? How fun is it?
Find him. Even in transition, find him, give it to him right there. And, you know, when he gets hot like that, it's like a 30-foot layup, man. You just want to get it to him and tell him to shoot, yell at him to shoot. And so, you know, it's just fun to watch, man. When you can count on somebody like him to make shots and on a consistent basis that he does, I mean, it's just such a relief to have and such a pressure release to know that if he's open, you got a really great chance that it's going down. And so we just got to, you know, continue to find him and JJ and Trevor and whoever's got the hot hand when we do make those defensive stops, just to find them and get them their open shots and let them keep shooting.
Coach, what would a win tomorrow mean for your program? 3 straight trips to the NCAA tournament, from 2 different conferences?
You know, I don't know about to the program. I think for a coach that recruits guys and cares about their experience there, it means that you promised them a chance and that they get to go. I mean, I think sometimes we all focus on what's it do for the future. I'd be more appreciative of what it did for the guys on our team, and if they got to go play in the NCAA tournament. It's going to do good things. There's no question.